Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, and it's time for round 18 of our MotoGP 21 career mode on board the Aprilia RSGP. So if you happen to watch the last Grand Prix in Phillip Island, we did take the coveted grand prize of the World Championship in just 17 rounds, but the final two rounds now are just going to be a swan song for us on board the Aprilia RSGP. It's been two magnificent seasons that have seen us capture two World Championships, and of course quite a lot of Grand Prix victories, not so many poles, but a lot of podiums in there, and a lot of great battles. But next season does take us to the Japanese manufacturer from the guys in Iwata. Of course, we will be joining the Monster Energy Yamaha team, which I'm very, very excited about. And of course, if you haven't seen the reasoning and the reveal of the Monster Energy Yamaha, then you can definitely check it out in one of the previous videos from just a couple of weeks ago. But the main focus is just literally finishing on strong with the Aprilia. We've got two more rounds here in Sepang, and then the final one being in the Ricardo Tomo circuit of Valencia. So I think it's going to be two pretty interesting races. Sepang we tend to go very well at. Last season, as a matter of fact, this is where the championship, in my opinion, was pretty much decided there and then, because we didn't just get onto the podium last season in Sepang. We won the Grand Prix, which gave us roughly, if I remember right, a 24-point championship lead going into Valencia. I do recall it was something very similar to that, where we just had to basically finish and grab a single point or a couple of points at most to ensure that we won the World Championship in Valencia. But now it's already wrapped up, I guess it's going to be a little bit easier for us. We only have to focus on doing well in the qualifying session, moving into the Grand Prix, and hopefully securing a good, strong finish. Victory would be nice, but we'll see what we can produce in the Grand Prix in just 4 hours' time. But we're now going on the left-hand side for turn 15, running it a little bit deeper for the very first time we enter the 15th corner here in Malaysia, as we now bring on the power with power setting 3 across the line. This will put us in the top 2. Now, we did make quite the mistake on the previous lap there, going into the very difficult hairpin, and it does show from that lap time, 0.7 of a second down to Fabio Quartararo. But the positive thing is we have removed the awful racing line that gets given to you when you're doing specific sort of rider development challenges for MotoGP 21's career mode. I do wish you could turn them off, because now I've fully upgraded the bike. I don't see why I need to continue to develop this bike any more than I needed. And I gotta say, the bike from this year compared to last year, with the upgrades and also changing the bike in the sense of not touching the settings, the suspension settings, etc., because I don't tend to touch them at all, whether it's MotoGP or Ride 4. But we did change the actual package in the winter testing in the previous season, even in this season, and also in the halfway point of Catalonia. We looked at two different styles of bikes, one that had more power and more reactivity, where one had a little bit less sort of reactivity and a lot more power. And we went for the one that has the ultimate amount of power, and that has been a big game changer for this season. I think that's one of the biggest reasons we've done so well on board the Aprilia. And of course, don't discount the fact that we've upgraded this bike to the completion. This is a fully completed Aprilia RSGP project, which is probably the first time I've ever done that in a MotoGP video game. So a fully solid upgraded bike has paid dividends for the championship this season. Now we're going to be moving on to the Yamaha, which won't be upgraded. We'll have to do that ourselves and upgrade it once again throughout the season. So we'll see how that works, but for now, I guess that's enough talk about the Yamaha project at the moment in time, because we haven't quite made it there yet, but rest assured we'll be going on there very, very soon. But onto the left-hand side to end this particular lap. I'm using the hard option tyres, which I think are going to change over to possibly the softs, but will still improve the lap time. So across the line we will go down by 0.6 of a second, but we did improve. Now the improvement wasn't massive. We only improved it by roughly a couple of thousandths of a second, so we do need to really dig down deep now to try and improve on this lap time and try, and there's carnage ahead of us. For some reason, two Ducatis are down in the first corner, but we are going to try and pursue a position directly into Q2 in this particular practice session. So 24 minutes remaining. We have 2 laps of fuel. Do we need it? We're going to find out. Up into the first sector by 2.5 of a second goes the newly crowned world champion, but of course still the champion from the previous season. And there's absolute carnage on the left-hand side of your screen there as Miguel Oliveira just pops out ahead of us and is now on the circuit, which is a great thing for us. Miguel Oliveira is a fast rider. We can pick up some slipstream, and hopefully This will put us back into the top 10. So on the right hand side we'll go for turn 6 now, into the rear of the factory KTM, waiting for an opportunity just to get past him, or possibly hang in there until we need... Oh goodness me, there was a bite down there. It was Jack Miller on the right hand side. There's no Johan Zarco, the man who's going to be finishing second place in this World Championship, unless he sort of loses it to the man who's just crashed as well, as Pecco Bagnaia. But now on the left for turn 9, we did have a better entry going into the 9th corner, but the Portuguese man positioned his KTM just ahead of the bike from Nawale as we go on the right hand side for turn 11. Slowly bring on the power if we may, and then slowly chuck it into the left hand side. Don't be too aggressive on the brakes, Ed. Like you've just seen kind of a little bit of a dip there from the front brake of the Aprilia as we run it wide going into turn 13 to get the cutback for the 14th corner. Not bad lap times there. It will be an improvement, but it's not going to put us in top position, but it's not really what I'm after. Just need to make sure we get into the top 10. So bringing on the power, bringing on the acceleration, braking firmly for the final corner here in Sepang. It's going to be a little bit too wide, but we might have the cutback once again with a little bit of slipstream from Miguel Oliveira. This could be enough to get us across the line and up into the top 10. Across the line we go, and it's top 5. Yes! So job well done, guys. We are moving into Q2 directly with that top 5 finish at the end of the free practice session, and we'll take a look at the riders who are going to be in Q2 battling it out for a pole position. So here we go then, guys. Hard front, medium rear was a solid combination that we used a moment ago to get ourselves into the top 5 and into Q2 directly, which is very, very important for me. If you've not watched much of my content on MotoGP 21 career mode, I'll tell you now, it's a spoiler alert, we don't do particularly well in qualifying. Qualifying is somewhere I struggle very much so. And this is a great start for us because the races are certainly the opposite. We are definitely the ultimate Sunday man, considering why all my live streams are on Sundays. This is why we race on Sundays. It's very important to me to make sure we do well in the race to make up for the downfalls of our difficult qualifying sessions. So onto the right hand side for turn 6, onto the nicer, tighter apex there to keep it close to the rumble strip on the exit to make sure we can then chuck it into the next part. And unfortunately we have gone wide. We were up in the second sector there by 98,000th of a second, but whatever lap time we had going for us then is probably not going to be the same one as we cross the line after a couple more corners to go. So unfortunately, not improving on this lap time, but we still have plenty of time. The hard front, medium rear still got plenty of life in it, and we can do at least another lap on these particular tyres if we do please. I am considering swapping it over to the soft tyres. I do think that could be quite the change, and it could be quite the thing that we need to improve our lap times. We did well in the practice session, but we didn't do well enough as we now go up by 2.5 tenths of a second. This should be a decent lap actually. However, nobody else has put in their proper lap times yet. Zarco, Bagnaia, Spargaro, Vinales, Miller, Binder and Martin, you can see on the left hand side of your screen, are more than likely just chucking in a banker lap just to see how things are going, to get the sort of rhythm going, and then they're probably on their flying lap now. But we'll see as we cross the line where we are going to be. Cross the line we will go, top position by 0.6 of a second. But swapping the tyres over now to the soft front and soft rear, we are still in the lead. And I am surprised that I did expect us to be dethroned by now, but a 1:57.495 is a pretty decent lap to be quite honest with you. Never mind, that's no longer my lap time, it's now Fabio Quartararo's lap time, it's a 1:57.495. I looked away for a brief second, and our 1:57.805 has been decimated by 0.3 of a second. But into the first split, we're up. A nice, beautiful looking red helmet for Matt Grant right now. Zarco 2.5 of a second ahead of us as we are just 23 thousandths of a second clear from teammate Aleix Espargaro. He's actually not that far behind us on track right now. And I've taken the red sector in the first sector. Aleix Espargaro's done one better. He's also got the red sector in the first one. As now Brad Binder positions himself up into the top 4. Miguel Oliveira in pole position. This is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. This could be rather fierce as this qualifying session is coming to its conclusion. As we now go on the left-hand side, nice and tight to the apex for turn 9. Up by 0.3 of a second. Up by 0.4 of a second. This could be nice. Can we get another pole position on the Aprilia before all is said and done? I'll spoil Valencia. Well, it's not going to be a spoiler because who knows what's going to happen, but I'll tell you now, I don't have much faith in qualifying or the race in Valencia, so this probably is my last attempt at getting a pole position. 77,000 of a second down to Miguel Oliveira. It could happen. It could definitely happen. We just got to get turn 15 done correctly. So going into the final corner for the very final time of asking, because I really don't think I'll have enough tyre life to get into the next sort of lap. But for now, I'm going to call this one in. Oh! I was thinking too much about the tyres. Oh my goodness. So I guess that was the end of that particular session. Miguel Oliveira takes pole position by 1,000th of a second ahead of Fabio Quartararo. 33,000 of a second behind goes the man who starts from 3rd place, Johann Zarco. But guys, that is going to be it from me. We'll start the Grand Prix in just 4 hours time from 7th position with my teammate Aleix Espargaro on the same row. But upon that note guys, thanks for watching as always. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I will see you in the next Grand Prix or video or whatever it may be. Ciao for now guys. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.